Welcome to today's video. As we all saw last week, I finally passed my first funded challenge. And today we started the second one because guess what? I'm not gonna start trading on any sim funded accounts anytime soon because the fact that it took me 9 weeks to pass that first one and then eventually literally passed it in 1 week worth of trades means enough. I'm not ready yet. So what I did was I bought a second eval and I had my first trade today. And I also introduced my new sizing slash scaling system I will be using, which I also implemented today and used the first trade and instantly got cooked. But in my opinion, we just got like literally a quarter of a point, like 4 ticks unlucky. Because afterwards, my fucking play was picture perfect. Let me show you. So the 50k account that I got last week is currently sidelined. I will be now doing a second one, and let me show you. So this is the second one. I don't know if you can see. Right here below me, you see account balance 49,662 because we already lost. What is it? $338 today. Quite unlucky, quite unlucky. But hey, part of the game. Proves my point that I should not yet trade on an actual live account. On an actual live sim funded account is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's get into today's trade. So, this morning, London session. Look at that. Whole lot of boringness. Nothing happens. So my 15-minute zone is from 8:45 until 9. And then we have the nice little midline, and then eventually my 5-minute zone from 9 until 9:05 is perfectly lined up with my midline. That's not always the case, but usually it's going to be in the area. So that means that if we break away outside our 5-minute or my blue zone, we can comfortably say that if after that my confluences line up, we will have a good trade, or at least something along those lines. As today, we had two fair value gaps right here, no retests, so we waited for a fair value gap and a retest, which is what happened right here. Fair value gap, boom, retest, boom, and then all we needed was an engulfing, which we did right here, boom. So we enter, boom. All right, beautiful. Stop loss is pretty tight today because my wick from the retest of the fair value gap will be my, it will act as my invalidation of my trade, so to speak. So we retest right around this level, right? So as we can see, the stop loss will be 3 points and my entry will be upon engulfing of the high or low from my fair value gap, which is exactly right here. So we enter after closure of the candle, which is boom. So we enter stop loss only 3 points, which is pretty tight, I'm aware. And look, we got fucking cooked by fucking, what is this? A tick? 2 ticks? I think it's 8. It's literally 1 tick. Yeah, it's 1 tick. We got stopped out. Boom. But afterwards, look, if that did not happen, let's just say perhaps like we took 5 point stop loss. Boom. We would have had our 10 points right here. And then it went down, and then it went eventually to a previous high. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do the previous high because I'm happy with 10 points. Also, because we first of all we used 20 contracts today, which is what brings me to my next part of today's video, my new scaling system. And I am not telling you or anybody to use it. I'm just gonna try it out. This is it. So as you can see right here, boom, I'll just explain it. My stop loss was today 3 points, as we all just saw, meaning that my max stop loss on a trade that I'm willing to take is 7 points. Let me show you again on today's trade that I lost. If the fair value gap was rather big, and let's say the wick bounced all the way down here and then we eventually closed inside or above the fair value gap, that is still a legit and valuable and viable entry for me, as long as everything else lines up. So that would mean that I will take a 7-point stop loss, which is pretty big for me. So what I say was, you know what? If it's a 7-point trade, as we can see, if it's a 7-point stop loss, I will only use 15 contracts because I'm only willing to about lose $500, because that means 4 losses in a row, 4 days in a row of losing will mean account gone. So I said I'd rather lose less than 500. Now, 7 points, 15 contracts, 525 without fees. So it's going to be 550, which is big. But the fact that during London, we don't really have much 7-point setups for stop loss, at least not that I can remember. So that's why a 7 until 4, so 7 until 4, boom, 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 will be 15 contracts, meaning that if my 4-point stop loss, I'll reach 10 points TP. The 10 points TP will be $750 in the green for, what is it, $300 loss, which is pretty good. It's more than a 2-to-1. So that's good. So if my stop loss is less than 3.75, then I will use 20 contracts, meaning that my 10-point TP will be $1,000 before fees. So it's going to be $970. No, it's going to be $960 because more contracts equals more fees, I'm assuming. Yes. So it's going to be $1,000 give or take. Profit. So that would have been today, $1,000 profit. And I would only lose 300 and something dollars, 338 including fees. That's my scaling. I will maybe adapt it to whatever happens, so we'll see. But today was my first day on the new account. I will of course make sure that my funded account will stay active. As soon as I have maybe 4 or 5 accounts, depending on how I feel, how my trading journey is evolving, we'll start using the actual accounts. But right now, I'm not ready yet. I need some more consistency in my life, actually, because I'm looking for a job still. Today, I had 2. You guys don't care, but anyway, I'll just tell you anyway. I had 2 final round, what's the word? Meetings, conversations with companies. So in the next week or so, I'll know what job they're going to offer me, which one of the 2 I'm going to take. If they offer me both, of course, I'll be happy. Then after that, obviously, my life will have a little bit more structure, a little bit more consistency, and then we'll get the trading will become more consistent too. That's my mindset. Consistency in life is consistency in trading. Like Shay, Alexandrius Williams, whatever the fuck he said, my whole life is consistent.
My whole life is consistent. Everything I do, from what I eat to when I sleep to my recovery,